must say I'm having a bit of fun. The village blacksmith is going to be very happy about this. Oh, they're an adventurer. I've collected the residue from the diamonds. We've molded them down. Look. There it is. The smelting is beginning. The process of smelting. We're going to need to refine the diamonds as best as we can. Remnants, as you see, remnants. Let us begin. As you can see here, it is pure blue. This is what happens when you smelt down a multitude of diamonds to turn it into armor. We have to assess the purity beforehand before we make any crafts. We need to make sure that everything is well measured, that everything is well placed. Look at the sides. It's almost a dust. And we're losing so much of it. It's not a good sign, I can say. But we will still check. There we are. It's smooth. I will get the assessor. We need to be very delicate with this. The assessor is a blade. And we use this blade to assess how good it is. Look at that, isn't that interesting? You can see how the diamonds want to connect together and stay together. This will make for a good chest plate. Or maybe some leggings. We haven't decided yet. Let's cut another piece. Look at that. This is very pure diamond, very pure. Let's grab a little bit here. Look at this. There we go. Look at that. It's very soft even when it lands. Look, listen. You can hardly even hear it. It's like powder. Look at that. It's extremely smooth. Let's make sure there's nothing on top when we're doing the rest of this. I must say I'm having a bit of fun. The village blacksmith is going to be very happy about this. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Wow. I need to be careful not to mess it up. This is really good. Oh my goodness. Look at that. We've completely deformed it. Let's try to put it back together now. Back into here, we lost a big chunk. We lost a very big chunk there. Let me move this. We don't want the hilt of the assessor getting in our way. There we are. Flatten that out. Okay, so you're thinking about making a pickaxe, right? In order to do that, we're going to need impression, do you understand? We're going to need to be very careful with it, but on a first impression, this is what we're looking at here. Can you see the shape? I can see the shape, it's right here. This will be our first impression. We're looking to make a pickaxe, so we'll try to do that. There we are. It's falling off the sides almost. Interesting. Make some room here. Alright, let's give it another assessment. It takes around 3 tries before you can measure it out properly. Essentially what you have to do is you have to get yourself an assessor. It's a blade such as this. You can get them off any pillagers, or as some people call them, the exiled, but I call them pillagers. Essentially you take one of these and you find yourself some diamonds, and because we have some standardization with our processes, we have to check the quality of the material that's being used to craft armor and whatever else. Now, I know you've probably noticed that we've never had any villagers using diamond armor. Well, it's because we end up selling what we craft. We aren't much of a strong group of people, I guess, but we do like to sell, and with that being said, we're going to sell most of our crafts to people here, but I'll show you what happens in this state when you have something formed like this. I think most people, they think, oh, it's easy to pick up, but if you go to pick it up, right, it is. But only on a couple simple touches, it falls apart like that. And it's very inefficient in terms of actual use. So what happens is when you get the diamonds down to the powder shape, what has to happen afterwards is you have to boil it. You have to put it into a water base, boil it at that, and then sometimes, in rare cases, use some sort of heat that's lava, or that's fire, or maybe a rarity, a blaze rod, but any type of heat under the water source. And what happens is that this takes more of a solidified shape in the way that you're doing it. Then you cool it down again and again. The powder shape happens because essentially our blacksmiths smash down the diamonds, right? They bring the diamonds down into a powder-like substance so that we can assess the material before we use. Now, you're probably not familiar with this process, adventure. You and many of the adventurer peoples in this world, they don't do this. But that's probably because you're not looking to sell your materials as much. You're much more interested in buying, and we know that here. Hence why we want to sell you quality. Quality. Let's take a look. Oh, there we are. It fell right out. Might not be perfect over here. Let's cut that piece off. There we go. Move that out. There we go. Now it looks pretty good, doesn't it? It does. So, let's get into an assessment, and what we're going to be looking for is when I cut the pieces off, you're going to need to help me see if the pieces are staying connected at a good rate or a bad rate. Now, a good rate is probably 1 to 3 seconds between the fall. A bad rate is longer or much shorter. So if we get a 1 second and it separates and falls pretty quickly, that's not good. If we have a 1 to 3 within that time frame, that's great. If we have 3 plus, that's not a good sign, not a good sign. No. We do not want that. We do not want that. But let's take a look and let's see what we can do. This will be the second cut here. We're not getting any fall at 1, 2, 3, 4, This is a nice piece. Good. Oh, separate this one here. And this part's looking good too. These portions here are all good. Let's move these two. We're going to do another assessment here. We'll do another assessment of the diamonds. Another assessment of the diamonds. It's quite interesting. A lot of people ask me if I enjoy my profession. You know, the gem assessor is a good one, but when it comes down to refinement, I think I love this profession. It's also quite satisfying. And there we are. Let's go again. That was a pretty quick fall, but I believe we're okay. Let's move this over a bit. We're a little close to the edge here. Another good piece. Another good piece. I'm not a fan of this half. I'm gonna remove this piece here. That one doesn't look as good. Move that there. Good. Good. Yep. These are good pieces. Great pieces, great pieces. Still very good. Look at that. Perfect. Oh, this is it's just amazing. It's just perfect. Okay, we're gonna take this here. And it's very important that we try to keep it on our little board here. We don't want to lose it. Now I'll ask that if you have already had your gems and such assessed, please let me know if you think this process is quite interesting and you'd like to give it a shot with your own materials. I have a board outside. You can leave a note there. I'm going to get rid of these. If you look at it, you can kind of see the imperfections. Can you see them? They're in there. They are in there. Perfect. I will be taking this to the blacksmith so that he can go ahead and make the pickaxe that we're looking